Warm welcome to Discover Rosewood Tales of Europe. My name is Helena Suarez. I'm Director of Global Sales based in London. And I wanted to first of all say thank you so much for joining us today. We are grateful for your support and we're looking forward to spending some time with you this afternoon or morning, depending on where you are in the world. I am joined today by three amazing colleagues, all Director of Sales and Marketing. We have Maria Gasparella from Rosewood Castiglion del Bosco in Tuscany, Pauline Earhart from Hôtel de Crillon in Paris, and Mike Bonner from Rosewood London. They will be telling you the latest news from their destinations and hotels. And towards the end of the presentation, we prepared a really fun and engaging quiz. So it will pay off to stay engaged. You will have the chance to win your very own Rosewood experience. And if you've got any questions for us, please put them into the chat box and we'll address them towards the end of the presentation. So before we dive into Tuscany, London, and Paris, I wanted to give you a brief overview of where Rosewood is today. So despite the pandemic, I'm really pleased to let you know that almost all of the Rosewood hotels have now reopened. And next week, we are reopening Rosewood Hotel Georgia in Vancouver, and then just followed with one day later, Rosewood Castiglion del Bosco in Tuscany. And Maria will tell you more about this resort. And then towards the end of the year, we have Rosewood Luang-Prabang, which will open its doors. If there is anyone who's new to Rosewood as a brand, I wanted to share with you that our history started in Dallas, where a private mansion was transformed to the very first hotel within the collection. And each of the Rosewood hotels have a one-of-a-kind residential feel, guided by our philosophy, sense of place. And with sense of place, we mean that each of our hotels reflects the spirit of its locality, culture, history, and people. We have 22 hotels in the pipeline. This year alone, we are opening 3 hotels. In Europe, in Madrid, we are reopening Via Magna as a Rosewood hotel in October. And the same month, Rosewood will open in St. Bart, Le Guanahani. And then before the end of the year, we have Rosewood Sao Paulo. As the focus of today is Europe, we wanted to highlight the European pipeline. We have a lot of exciting openings here. The Italian portfolio is expanding a lot. We will be opening in Sardinia, Rome, and Venice. Next year, we will also reopen our doors in Austria, in Vienna, and then followed by Munich and Amsterdam. And last but not least, we have our second hotel in London, which will be housing the American Embassy, or the former American Embassy, I should say, and will be called the Chancery Rosewood. So without further ado, I would like to head off to Tuscany and to speak to Maria. Welcome, Maria.
Thank you, Elena. Thank you very much.
Maria, Italy is renowned for its love for art and fashion, stunning scenery, and beautiful culinary heritage. So how are you combining all of those elements at Rosewood Castiglion del Bosco?
Well, Elena, first of all, the location, we are in the heart of Tuscany and we are in a UNESCO listed area of Tuscany, the Val d'Orcia. So definitely Castiglion del Bosco combines all these elements all together, from the beautiful nature, the pristine scenery and beauty around us, but also the art and culture, the history, because we are in a medieval village that has been restored and reconverted into a hotel. So we are really a celebration of a natural beauty, but also the rich gastronomic heritage of our country and of our region. So definitely we can say that we combine all the elements also that Italy in general as a country has to offer. So absolutely.
Fantastic. And I know you've done a lot of work to elevate your experiences at the hotel. So could you tell us a little bit more about your news?
Yeah, well, first of all, let me update very quickly on the country and also the opening of the hotel. So as you said, we are really close to the reopening, the full reopening, which is the 2nd of June. And we are, as a country, we are really coming out from a long period of almost lockdown. So finally, in the past few weeks, we also had government announcements regarding the release of travel restrictions, especially for the European travelers, but also for the North American clients. So starting from mid-May, we can welcome leisure travelers again, because before it was forbidden and quarantine was in place. So in terms of the restrictions and what we are going towards the release of all these restrictions. Curfew is still in place, but it's gonna disappear very soon. And in terms of the hotel updates, we really are reopening with the expansion of the property. So these beautiful 19 new suites that we are adding later in July. We are finally at the end of this project, and of course the inventory changes quite a bit, because from 23 suites we go to 42. And then, of course, we have our beautiful 11 villas. So definitely, this is the news that we would like to share. And also, we are extending the seasonality. So for the first time this year, we are closing the hotel after the Christmas holidays. So we usually, Castiglion del Bosco closed mid-November. With this change also in demand and with the delay of the opening, we thought that this year we will be open also for the Christmas holidays. So that is something that I also wanted to share with all of you today.
Well, lots of news, fantastic. And we mentioned, we talked about the Tuscan culinary heritage. So how are you bringing that to life at Castiglion del Bosco?
Well, Tuscany is a lot about food and wine. So even here, of course, at Castiglion del Bosco, we celebrate this. Well, first of all, we are in the winemaking region of the Brunello di Montalcino. So the wine side is really important. But in terms of the culinary, the cuisine, and also talking about something new, to share, is that our Osteria La Canonica has been refurbished during this period of closure, and we have enlarged and enhanced the alfresco dining experience. So for those who know Castiglion del Bosco and are familiar with our piazzetta, we will have a lot more tables and seating in that beautiful setting. By the way, they are bringing these hours actually the lemon trees. So I'm excited because finally the piazzetta is coming back to life again. And then, of course, the culinary experience it starts with the organic kitchen garden, where we grow the majority of the products that we use in our kitchen. And then, of course, the cooking classes that are one of the most popular activities actually among our guests. So of course those things are still there and of course ready for the guests again.
Well, that does sound amazing. And yes, in terms of activities, I know you've got like natural trails, beautiful spa, and you offer yoga and forest bathing. That sounds all amazing. But yeah, could you tell us, what are your top guest recommendations to complete your Tuscan journey?
Well, definitely the wellness and the sport component is something important here, because there are so many options to enjoy outdoor sports and to do wellness activities. But definitely something else that is really part of our DNA is the wine experiences, no? So for wine lovers, having a Brunello winery in-house, it's really a plus, because we can do very much personalized wine tour and experiences. We do the harvest during the season, like in September. So I think that something that, if I have to tell you something that you cannot miss, of course, if you like wine, it's an experience in our winery.
I'm still dreaming of your Brunello wines myself.
I know.
So I think we're all ready to go to Tuscany. But you know, what offers do you have that you could recommend for the audience to book?
Yeah, for this summer, for this season, I really would like to highlight, first of all, the flexibility in the cancellation policy. Our suites are subject to a 24-hour cancellation policy for June and July, and then we go to 7 days. And then we extended a 7 days cancellation policy for the villas, which is really very, very flexible and also much more flexible compared to the past. A couple of offers that I really would like to highlight here is the More Rosewood, the 4th night free, and the Together Again, which is for those who are looking at a 1 week stay. So for a 7-night stay, we give 2 nights complimentary, and a few other added value with the Together Again offer. So great value and flexibility.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Maria. We are going to leave Tuscany, but hope to come back very soon. And we're going off to London. Mike, I think you are at the hotel, right?
I am indeed in the hotel. This isn't a background. I'm actually in Lincoln House.
Fantastic. And I know you will talk a little bit about that later. But Mike, there are so many luxury hotels in London. So why Rosewood?
Well, we are a manor house in the heart of the city. We're very centrally located, so ideal for getting around the city. And we offer also a lot of different options within the hotel for eating, drinking, dining, spa. So we can provide a little bit of something for everybody, all delivered with relaxed elegance for our guests. So we're not a formal luxury. We like to. We have all the cues you'd expect of a five-star hotel naturally, but all delivered in a slightly more relaxed, whimsical way.
Sounds great. and UK had quite a strict lockdown, right? So, but it's now starting to open up. So could you tell everyone, you know, what is the situation like in London at the moment, and what would a guest experience be like?
Yeah, London's coming back to life. I mean, you all, I'm sure many people who are watching this will know London very well. London is coming back to life. We're now, the hotel we stayed open throughout lockdown for travellers under the exemptions, but we're now reopened to leisure guests. So all the rooms, so anybody coming in on leisure can come and stay, those who can get here. Our bars and restaurants are now all open, and a lot of the attractions around the city have reopened or in the process of reopening. So cinemas, theatres, and museums, shops are all back open. So the city itself is very much looking forward to see our guests back from overseas coming into the hotel very soon.
Great. And I heard that you have a suite which has its very own postcode.
We do.
Yeah, sorry. So could you tell me about that one, but also a little bit more about your rooms and suites? And I want to hear if you have a favorite one.
Absolutely. So yeah, we have at the hotel, we have 308 rooms and suites, so 45 suites, including 6 signature houses. The one you mentioned there, Manor House, which is currently below where I am in the hotel, that is 208 square meters as a 1-bedroom suite, but will combine with 7 other rooms to become a whole wing, so a residential wing. It has its own private elevator to where it's located on the 2nd floor, and its own private access to the hotel. So if people want to come in, they don't necessarily want to go through the public areas of the hotel, they can access the hotel, the Manor House, in that very special way. My personal favorite in the hotel is the suite I'm in right now, which is Lincoln House. Lincoln House is 251 square meters. So it's quite a sizable suite, largest suite in London, and on its own it's a 3-bedroom suite. We'll combine to make an 8-bedroom suite, an 8-bedroom private residence. I'm sat here, you can't really see it on the camera, but I'm sat here in the dining area with this large expansive living area behind me, and like Manor House, this suite will also, you can access it privately through its own private entrance and elevator up to where we are currently on the 3rd floor. I like it. It's just my personal favorite, but it's also one of my newest suites. We only opened this in October 2019, just before the original lockdown, so it's quite new. If people want to come and try that.
Great. So let's talk about food, because I heard your chef Callum, he is known as the pie king among British chefs. So tell us about the pies and also about your other award-winning restaurants and bars.
Yeah, I mean, everything we do at the hotel here, like Rosewood, it's sense of place. So we try and connect with everything that's about Britishness, UK, and particularly London and this part of London. So Chef Callum, as you rightly say, is getting noted here in the UK and also internationally as recreating the art of proper pie making. And it's savoury pies as well as sweet pies, but largely savoury pies, as you can see in the picture. This is the actual pie room, what you can see on the screen. So the pie room is just located off our main restaurant, Holborn dining room. During the day, it's a functioning part of the kitchen where the guys will make all the pies. And in the evening, you'll see it set up there for private dining. We'll accommodate up to 10, and we can do pie tasting menus, master classes, all sorts of fun things with Callum. We do kids pie master classes as well, which is quite fun. But aside from the main restaurant, Holborn dining room, which is a British market brasserie, we also have Scarce Bar, which is an award-winning cocktail bar, one of the voted recently one of the world's top 50 cocktail bars. And they're all reopened now, and both Holborn dining room and Scarce, one of the things they are very well known to the local market. If you come into them, they are full of locals. So you come in and you feel you're part of the London scene. Lots of local residents, business people come into the hotel. They've been very vibrant and buzzy since we've reopened them a couple of weeks back. And then Mirror Room, is where we serve our afternoon tea on the other side, and we've just launched a new collection of our art-inspired afternoon tea based on the works by Kusama, the Japanese artist.
Fantastic. I was at the hotel today. Actually, it was really lively, looking really great. So talking about something different, now more than ever, health and wellness is at the forefront of everyone's mind. So tell us, what are you doing in this area? And perhaps also if you could touch base on other activities that you would recommend for clients while they are at Rosewood London.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, right now with everything that's happened over the last year or so, wellness is very much at the front of people's minds. So we have a spa at the hotel, which guests are willing to use. And come in and use. We also have a program in the picture here. You can see our consultant personal trainer, Mr. Harry Jameson. Harry Jameson is also fitness trainer to a lot of celebrities and stars, and he's also training a certain British Prime Minister at the moment as well. And we also have a couple of placemakers, Katie and Boniface, part of the Rosewood Placemaker program, who are doing a lot about wellness. So they'll be doing wellness retreats. It's all being We'll be launching wellness weekends where you come and stay at the hotel, digital detox, and really kind of get back to what's important in life.
Great. And are there other things as well in the immediate neighborhood that you would recommend?
Yeah, I mean, we've, as I said before, we're very centrally located, so ideally located very close within 10-minute walk of Covent Garden. So lots of shops and bars and restaurants around there. We're a 10-minute walk, less than a 10-minute walk from the British Museum, and a lesser known attraction like the Sir John Soane's Museum, which is just literally behind the hotel here, which most people probably haven't heard of, but it's a gem. If you talk to our concierge team or many, like even travel editors around London, they'll tell you it's one of the best places to go in London. We're a 10-minute walk from Theatre District, and you can also be in the West End within a walk, short tube ride or short taxi ride. But even within the hotel, I mentioned the master classes. We do these pie making master classes. You can see that in the picture on your screen right now. And we also have in Holborn Dining Room, we have the gin bar, which is the largest gin bar in London, nearly 600 different gins in there. And we do gin master classes, so you can come and discover the world of gin, which has a particularly strong connection to this part of London where we're in. A lot of the old gin distilleries and gin palaces were located in this part of London back in the day.
There's a lot of gins to get through, So tell us, what are the best offers available at Rosewood London?
So we've got a number of offers. We're thinking, coming into the summer now, leisure guests coming back. We have our family offer, which is 2 rooms, second room complimentary. So perfect for mum, dad, and kids to come into London and enjoy all those things that we haven't done for a year or so. We also have, although you can do the 2 rooms, for those who want 1 room, we do have family rooms, which are just shy of 390 square feet of accommodation. We'll accommodate 5, so mum, dad, and 3 children, quite comfortable in those rooms. They're very popular, so advise booking early. If you're staying a little bit longer, more Rosewood, so you get a complimentary 3rd night. If you book 2 nights, you get a 3rd night with our compliments. And our suite sojourn package, where if you book a suite, we include things like transfers, and you also get a complimentary night there as well.
Well, thank you, Mike, for sharing the latest news from London. We are now going to head off to Paris.
Thank you.
Thank you. Pauline? Hi, Pauline. Welcome.
Hi, Elena. Bonjour.
Bonjour. So Hôtel de Crillon, right? It has a long list of royalties and actors, musicians, such as Marie Antoinette, Charlie Chaplin, Andy Warhol, Madonna, who have been guests and returned to the hotel. So what is your secret?
Well, I think it's really all about the history, the location, and the legend this hotel is. You can see this wonderful building, which was built as required by Louis XV in the 18th century. And it's quite magic to imagine yourself being on the steps of Queen Marie Antoinette, which I stayed there and took some piano lessons in the room with the same name.
Fantastic. Wow. And that suite is just gorgeous, isn't it? Now, I heard that you have exciting pop-up terraces and also secret bars. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So this is the exciting thing we've had for a week, as terraces were able to reopen since May 19. We have 3 terraces. So our main courtyard, which has been existing since the opening of the hotel. We have a rooftop bar, which is actually the terrace of our Bernstein suite, one of our top suites, overlooking the entire city. So it's a terrace of 1,000 square feet, where you see the Eiffel Tower, the Grand Palais, and we serve there cocktails and tartines. And we are using this summer our terrace Marie Antoinette, as I just mentioned, where you have only 15 seats on Place de la Concorde, and we serve there champagne and caviar.
That sounds like a dream. So there were not one, but there were 7, right? Interior designers that were involved in recreating and transforming Hôtel de Crillon to the legendary palace it is today. So could you tell us what makes your rooms and suites so special?
Absolutely. So it was a huge renovation, which lasted a little more than 4 years. And indeed, different interior designers were involved. What was really interesting is that they were not specialized in hotels. They were mainly working with private residences, which I think you can really feel when you stay in Hôtel de Crillon. The one on the picture you just saw is Duc de Crillon, which is a special one. This suite is part of the signature, and the space used to be the chapel of the hotel back when it was a private residence, as it became a hotel only in 1909. But for the rest of the rooms and suites, the style is like what you see now. This is one of our premier suites, and it's a real mix of contemporary and classic. So you feel some Parisian codes with the moldings, with the wooden floor, some pieces of decor, and then you have contemporary touches through the colors, some pieces of furniture, and also the collection of art, which is quite impressive all along the hotel. On the next slide, you will see our signature suites, which are absolutely exceptional. So on the left, you see the view from the Terrace Bernstein, which right now is a rooftop bar, so a little bit different. In the middle at the bottom, you see our Atelier d'Artistes, which are very contemporary suites, which with a unique view over the roof of the hotel, the Eiffel Tower, the Grand Palais. And on the right side, you see Grand Appartement Eiffel. There are 2 suites called Les Grands Appartements, which were renovated by Karl Lagerfeld. So quite a unique work as well. And they have an adjoining room, which is called Choupette, after the cat of Karl Lagerfeld. You may know about the famous cat. And in the room, you do have a picture of the cat. And on the carpet, you have symbols of the scratches of the cat. So it's quite a fun one. So a lot of different options, different styles and layouts, all very comfortable, very welcoming in a real residential feel, and in the heart of Paris.
And let's talk a little bit about gastronomy, because the French gastronomy is renowned all over the world, and you have your very own Michelin star restaurant. But tell us a little bit about
Absolutely.
the culinary experiences that you have crafted at the hotel.
So there will be a few changes, as 2020 gave us all a lot of time to think about future projects. So L'Écrin, our gastronomic restaurant, will reopen in September with a new concept around wines, as we have a fantastic sommelier, Xavier Tuizat, who is eager to share his knowledge and his passion for wine with our guests. Brasserie Daumont is also going through a transformation, as we have recently signed a partnership with a chef called Paul Perret. He's a French chef working in Shanghai for the past 15 years, and he will sign his first menu since the 2000s in France. And this should open in September or October. We're still looking for a final date, but it will be quite an experience. And not to forget Les Ambassadeurs, our wonderful bar where we used to have live music every night. So as soon as we will be able to do that again, we will. A very unique cocktail menu and a very unique team. And Jardin d'Hiver, the last option, is the one you see here on the picture, where we serve all the dining and tea time prepared by our chef Mathieu Carlin. Just to mention that hotel guests since May 19 are allowed to have a meal inside if they stay in the hotel only. And Jardin d'Hiver is now open for hotel guests.
That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. And talking about your spa, you have the most beautiful swimming pool, and it almost feels like you're swimming inside a jewelry box. It is absolutely gorgeous. So what experiences could you recommend inside the hotel and at your immediate doorstep?
So inside the hotel, you can stay for a long weekend without an issue between all the food and beverage options and the spa, where you find a hairdresser. Of course, treatments with the latest brand we have worked with is Sisley. The pool indeed is like a piece of art itself, so it's quite nice to just spend time around the pool. Just around the corner of the hotel, you have so much to do. You have wonderful shopping. The original Hermès shop is just around the corner. You cross the street and you are in Jardin des Tuileries. So you can just walk to the Louvre, to the Seine River. Really a lot to do around. What's very interesting in the area here is that you also have a lot of Parisians walking here, going to shopping, going there for shopping, for restaurants, for theaters. So it's not only tourists that you will see around the hotel. So you can have a real feel of the Parisian life as well.
And what are the best offers that are available now at Hôtel de Crillon?
So there are a few offers available with great benefits. So a suite sojourn for stay in a suite is offering many benefits such as breakfast upgrade, early check-in, a nightly credit. More Rosewood is offering the 5th night complimentary, and family time, which you find as a packaged rate, is including a connecting room at a 50% rate. So there will be more offers to come for the summer. And of course, we are always here to help for any specific request you may have.
Thank you, Pauline. And thank you, Mike and Maria as well. We hope we managed to show you a beautiful European journey that you and your clients can enjoy with Rosewood. I wanted to hand over the word to Branny to see if we have any questions from the audience. And please, everyone, stay with us because we do have the fun quiz just after the Q&A where you got the chance to win your very own experience. So Branny, do we have any questions from the audience?
Thanks, Elena. Yes, we do. It's actually great to see. We've had quite a few questions coming through. We're also very conscious of time today, so I have selected 3 of the many we've got. Please rest assured, though, that all the other questions will be addressed and answered via email immediately after our virtual event. So let's start with Castiglion del Bosco and Maria. A question from Oksana. Where will the 19 garden suites be located?
So it's very close to our reception area and to our borgo. So it's a walking distance, literally 1 minute from the reception area. It's a new complex where we will also have another beautiful infinity pool. So it's like another small borgo built from scratch. So the same style in terms of interior design, but also in terms of building. So very well merged with the forest surrounding us, and with this beautiful pool facing, for those who are familiar with Castiglion del Bosco, it's facing Montalcino, so the Val d'Orcia.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Maria. And the second question is for Pauline. What is your cancellation policy at Hôtel de Crillon?
We have a very flexible cancellation policy, except for our signature suites, it's 7 days, but all other categories have a 24 hours cancellation policy. So we hear everyone is in need of flexibility. So this is the case for all categories until May 2022, I think, right now.
2022, that's amazing. Thank you, Pauline, for that. And last question is for Rosewood London and Mike. Is there a pool at Rosewood London and or special amenities for children?
We don't have a pool at the hotel, but we have a beautiful spa with a couple's treatment room. And like I said before, we have lots of other facilities that for families to enjoy. We have kids amenities, kids programs, we have games consoles, and we can do a lot of interactive, experiential type of activities for families and children as well. Like I mentioned in the presentation, that the Pie Masterclass is just one. We do kids versions of our afternoon tea as well, where they can actually help kind of colour in and add, icings and things to their cakes and things. So with lots of things to keep the kids busy inside the hotel, but being in the heart of London, there are many things around the hotel as well.
So thank you everyone for your questions. We are going to answer everyone's questions individually afterwards, so don't worry if we didn't manage to cover it today. We will get back to you. But now it's time for our quiz time. So yes, while Branny gets this screen up and running, I wanted to ask you all to grab your smartphone and to put in www.menti.com. And there is a code that you need to put in, which is up on the screen there. So I think you can all see it now. And yes, I will hand over to you, Branny, to explain the rules.
Thanks everyone for joining us today for this quiz. We really wanted, to be honest, to end these conversations of ours on a playful and engaging note. And we also wanted to offer to three of you the opportunity to experience firsthand the jewels we've just presented. So in our last 5 to 6 minutes together, we are actually going to tweak a little bit our very famous sense of place approach and go into a sense of competition together and embark in a 10 questions quiz about our European properties and a bit more. So let's get this started. Let's just move on to the next slide. As Helena said, I will kindly ask you to grab your phones, go on to www.menti.com and use the code 1362748. Don't be shy, you can use an alias, you don't have to put your real name. Try to be quick, because the quickest answer gets the more points, and obviously try to be right. There will be a leaderboard. There's actually almost 300 people on the call today. The leaderboard will contain only the first 10. The winner at the end of the 10 questions will win a beautiful one-night stay with breakfast for 2 people at Rosewood Castiglion del Bosco. The second place, the same but at Hôtel de Crillon, and the third place will be for Rosewood London. So I think that we can try and get it going. I will give you a few moments to, yeah, whoa, look at that. That's amazing. Okay, there's 125, 27, 28 people logged onto the quiz. I'll give you really a few more minutes so that we can have the most players, the crowd is the best. So I'll wait just literally a few more seconds. and then we will get started. Yes, I think we're there. Perfect. Okay, so on the marks, let's see. Okay, sorry, let me see what maybe it's. Okay, let's see what's happening. Okay, just give me a second. Perfect. Okay. Wait. I need to go back. I'm so sorry. It's probably that we never had so many people on the call together and we need to start from scratch. Allow me just a few seconds so I can, okay. Perfect. Let's start from here. See if we can get the first question. Yes, what is Rosewood's core philosophy, which exists beyond the physical form of travel and is to be discovered in the intangible essence of community? Is it Rosewood a sense of place? Is it Rosewood placemakers? Is it Rosewood rays, or is that Rosewood rewards? And I can tell you that all of those exist, but only one is our philosophy. Thumbs up. Let's see how we did. 115 of you got it right. That's correct. Let's see how we did. Okay, we have NPM leading the fastest. Jeremy, Richard, Crystal, Cassidy, Kim, Sarah, Molly, Nicole, and Josh. Well done. You are in the 10% of the best for the first question. Let's move on to the second. Ready? Les grands appartements at Hôtel de Crillon were designed by Ralph Lauren, Karl Lagerfeld, Donatella Versace, Pierre Cardin. They do all exist. I think we all know that, but only one actually designed Les grands appartements. The person that usually appears with a cat. And let's see how we did. Yes, 55, you got it right. It's Karl Lagerfeld, of course. Let's have a look at our leaderboard. Anything changing there? Jeremy, you did really, really well. But the fastest was William. Well done. Let's move on to the next question with 3 out of 10. The estate at Rosewood Castiglion del Bosco is set within a 1,000 acres, 500-year-old Italian estate, 1,000 acres, 800-year-old Italian estate, 500 acres, 500-year-old Italian estate, or 5,000 acre, 800-year-old Italian estate. It's a tricky one. And in fact, the correct answer is the one with the biggest numbers. 5,000 acres, massive, beautiful piece of land, and 800 years old Italian estate. One of the best conserved actually in Italy. Let's see how we did. Okay, so there's a bit of movement there with Alessia, I hope that's right, fastest, well done. David second place and Kat third place for now. Let's move on to the fourth question, which is, let's the quiz run for us. Sometimes it gets a bit wonky. Nothing, we can't do nothing about it. We're gonna say Rosewood Castiglion del Bosco winery produces obviously Brunello di Montalcino, which is obviously a world-renowned red wine. Okay. Let's see. Fraser. Well done. Next question. Among many others, Rosewood London has a very unique feature that sets it apart from all other luxury hotels in the British capital. Which one is that? a beautiful private courtyard elevating the arrival experience, a rooftop bar with live music, its vibrant gin bar that offers the biggest gin selection in England, or is that Rosewood London offers the most awarded afternoon tea in London? Almost. It is a beautiful private courtyard elevating the arrival experience, and it's the only hotel in London that has it. Let's see how we did. Jeremy, David, Abby, and Benjamin, well done. I think the fastest though was Jeremy. Yes, and that changes a lot. We're going half of the leaderboard. Benjamin leading David and Kiran. And let's see the next question. We're halfway through. Hôtel de Crillon enjoys an unrivaled location overlooking Place de la Concorde. In which year was this legendary palace built? 1803, 1788, 1793, or 1758? And we all know that 1792 was the French Revolution. So what do you think? Time's up. Let's see how we did. A bit of everything, but the correct answer was the less popular, 1758, so ahead of the French Revolution. That's how amazingly historical that building is. Let's have a look at how we did. Frosty, Alessia still there with a great result. In fact, Jeremy was the fastest. Second place, Benjamin still leading. Let's move on to the next question. Gerald Scarfe, the British illustrator whose work has inspired Rosewood London's award-winning bar, has designed all of the artwork of Daft Punk's album Interstellar, 5555, which is probably not the way you read it, the Shins video Ripple Spiral, Noah and the Whales album The First Days of Spring, or Pink Floyd's album and video The Wall. Oh yes, correct. Almost all of you. Well, Pink Floyd's album and video The Wall with the Hammers, that was Gerald Scarfe, whose personality actually inspired our bar at Rosewood London. Let's see how our leaderboard looks like. Benjamin's still there, Alessia's still there, Frosty's still there, doing a really good job. Fraser, you were the fastest, but Alessia is now top of the pile. Next question. That's our 8th. What is the name of the bar at Hôtel de Crillon with the original hand-painted ceiling from the 19th century? Bar Le Crin, Bar Jardin d'Hiver, Bar Les Ambassadeurs, or Bar Gaumont? They all exist. They're not bars, all of them, but we've been through this and the picture was there as well, and it's the most beautiful bar in my personal opinion. And you got it right, 30 of you, Bar Les Ambassadeurs. Let's see how our leaderboard looks like. 2 questions from the end. Vanessa, great job. Kat, great job. Jeremy, everybody, but the fastest was AZ. Benjamin leading, Jeremy second, Alessia third. Let's see if this changes with the next question, which is number 9. We're getting there. Guests staying at 6-bedroom Villa Oddi at Rosewood Castiglion del Bosco will enjoy what? A home theatre, a pool and a pool house, an outdoor jacuzzi and a tennis court, or pool and tennis court, or a home theatre, pool and pool house, or last option, pool, pool house and tennis court. Only one is the correct answer, and that is certainly the first, everything. If you're staying at Villa Oddi, you're getting everything you can get, including a beautiful new outdoor jacuzzi. Let's see how our leaderboard is doing. Benjamin, you're still there. Maybe that will change because Jeremy was the fastest. No, Benjamin holding it, Jeremy second, Kat, Bride third. So you're looking at potential prizes, but Alessia, Vanessa, AZ, Frosty, Bettina, Lydia, and Adriana, well done, because, you know, the 10 of you did amazing among, you know, really a lot of people connected with us today. Last question. Are we ready? The Carlisle, a Rosewood hotel, has made an appearance in several movies and television shows, including Sex and the City, Hannah and her sisters, Gossip Girl, or all of the above? And I know it's a bit cheating because we said we've been talking about, you know, European properties, and here we're talking about our iconic Carlisle in New York, but I think this is great to know. All of the above, that's correct. That is the correct answer. Sex and the City, Hannah and the Sisters, Gossip Girl, all of them for Rosewood, the Carlisle. And let's see who are the 3 lucky winners. There's no drama music. So Jeremy Cartlesher, you did great. But the winner is Jeremy. Well done, Jeremy. You are staying at Rosewood Castiglion del Bosco. Benjamin, you're staying at Crillon, and Kat, you will be staying at Rosewood London. And please do just chat or put your email address, your names in the chat. We make sure we have that down, and we will contact you obviously after this virtual event to arrange that for you whenever you will be able to do so. I'm really happy to pass that on to my colleague Helena to wrap up this beautiful virtual event. Thank you once again for finding the time to be with us here today.
Thank you, Brani, and congratulations, all 3 winners. Very well done. I was amazed how talented and knowledgeable everyone is on the call. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We truly appreciate your support. It's fantastic to see how engaged you've been. And we really enjoyed spending time with you. We can't wait until we can see you again in person. And we're sending our very best wishes from London, Paris, and Tuscany. Thank you all.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for attending.
Thank you.
Bye.